Every year we grow our food indoors, and this year we have a different setup. We are using an 8x8 grow tent from Spiderfarmer so that we can create an optimal environment for our crops to thrive. Grow tents are fairly easy to use, and it usually starts with building the frames. This works for smaller tents, but with a larger 8x8 tent, I find it easier by laying out the cover and set up the base first. This is especially important if you don't have much room to work with. The frames consist of 4 different types of joints: horizontal frames for top and bottom, vertical frame which is smaller in size, and removable top support frames. These are the removable top support frames, and bear in mind there are 2 different pieces that goes on top of one another. Then we have the horizontal frames for the top and the bottom, and these are longer than the vertical frames. The vertical frames are smaller and they come in 2 different pieces that join together. And lastly, there are 4 different types of joints to connect all the pieces together. There is a corner joint, middle joint, side joint, and center joint. We'll start by connecting the middle joint to the bottom frames, and there's a portion of this frame that will run across the middle of the tent. Then we'll connect the corner joint on both ends, and continue with the side joints. And again, we'll add 2 corner joints. Then we'll use the middle joint again. And lastly, we'll use a side joint for the center frame on the bottom. Next, we'll connect the 2 vertical pieces together and install all 9 pieces. For the top frame, first install 4 corner joints. Followed by 4 middle joints. And for the center, use the center joint. Connect the remaining top horizontal frames together. Now it's time to install the final support frame. Place the piece with the longer hook first, and on top of it the piece with the shorter hook. Now carefully lift the tent and start from one corner to the other. The tent features many pockets so you can run your wires in any direction. It also has bottom ventilation that you can close or open at any time. For ventilation, I'm adding an inline duct fan, and this will provide airflow to reduce moisture buildup and also filter out odor. To make this step a lot easier, I'm using the removable top support frame and install the fan and filter first. Make sure that the arrows on the fan is pointing opposite of the filter. The filter does come with adjustable hook strap, but I'm using a zip tie instead. This way I can secure it to the highest point. Next, using the strap that came with the kit, it's time to secure the fan onto the bar. This perfectly aligns the two pieces together and it makes installing a lot easier. The fan will pull air inside the tent and then blow it outside the tent area. One thing that I really like about this setup is that I'm able to fit two spiderfarmer plant stands in a row. This allows me to maximize my space and I'm able to grow a lot more on one side. I decided to use only 2 racks per plant stand because I want to be able to grow bigger plants on the bottom. Each plant stand also came with 3 SF600 grow lights and they fit perfectly on the shelf. These lights are highly efficient and they don't take much energy at all to run. For the top rack, I'm mainly using the Kratky systems, which doesn't require any additional electricity. I went with 2-inch net pots so I can maximize the space, so I'm using a 2-inch hole saw to drill the holes. I'm choosing to grow fast-growing crops in here like lettuce, bok choy, and possibly radish. I was able to fit 4 bins per rack and 8 in total. This means that I can grow up to 48 plants. For the bottom racks, I'm setting up a deep water culture hydroponic system. So I'm connecting an air bubbler to provide oxygen. I'm planning to grow plants that will have a longer growth period like micro tomatoes and peppers. I'm using an air stone which I'm going to connect to an air pump with 4 outlets. This setup is way better than what we had last year. I'm really happy with the available space that we get to work with. We'll be able to grow a lot more food this winter season, and it doesn't even matter what the weather is outside.